Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from History with Dino. Today I'm going to be delving into Heinrich Schliemann, the Boogeyman of archaeology. If you've ever taken an archaeology class, Schliemann likely came up as he is the ultimate example of what not to do, but we'll get to that. First of all, Schliemann wasn't really an archaeologist. He was just an incredibly wealthy businessman, which in part came from profiteering during the Crimean War on the Russian side, who was interested in ancient history. Specifically, though, he was interested in Homeric poetry and the Trojan War. So, Schliemann being Schliemann, he took it upon himself to use his considerable fortune to unearth ancient Troy. And he did. He succeeded. Kind of. He found gold and all sorts of artifacts on the site he believed to be Homeric Troy. And it was the right location. But because of his explosive digging practices and the general lack of knowledge that he possessed, he was actually excavating beneath the layer that was Homeric Troy. In other words, he blew up Troy and dug a massive trench through the middle of the site, which is still a problem for archaeologists today. The stuff he was finding was way older than artifacts that would be associated with actual Homeric Troy. Schliemann also took to naming these artifacts based on characters in the Homeric epics, such as Priam's treasure, despite a complete absence of evidence that points towards this. Basically, he was just making up everything as he went along. Following his excavations in Turkey looking for Troy, he smuggled his valuable finds out of the Ottoman Empire, which led him to receiving the distinction of being one of the very few people in history to be sued by an entire empire. He actually might have gotten away with it, except he apparently let his wife wear some of the jewelry that he found to parties. Not exactly subtle, or the best way to preserve artifacts that are thousands of years old. At some of his later excavations, such as Mycenae, he continued these types of behaviors, finding Agamemnon's death mask, which I conclusively can tell you did not belong to Agamemnon, and a bevy of other artifacts. However, Schliemann didn't let his love of the Homeric epics stop at just his digs. He also proved his love for the poetry by deciding to name his son Agamemnon as well. Overall, Schliemann had some questionable decision-making skills and zero clue on how to properly excavate ancient sites, which has left us with a lasting example of how to be literally the worst archaeologist ever. Hope you enjoyed this video from History with Dino. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and I'll be back soon with another episode.